joined by Middlebury women's golf junior Mia Politano. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I was very nervous about your last name. Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah,
Politano. Okay,
yeah,
cool. So how are you doing? You're a junior in at Middlebury. I know you just finished up your fall season, so how are things going?
yeah. Very busy. The season's always
Yeah,
super busy. It's like balancing schoolwork and golf, but it's kind of nice to have a little break from that for now so I can focus more on schoolwork. But it's been really great and a lot of fun.
yeah, I
Um,
know. I can
yeah.
tell you about being busy. I just actually got to golf for the first time in a month this past weekend, and it was pretty rough. Shot like 86, but let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're a junior at Middlebury. Can you tell me, a little bit about how your time at Middlebury has been and, what you enjoy most about being at Middlebury?
Yeah. I mean, I've loved Middlebury a lot since I've started here. I feel like my favorite things about it are just like that it's like super academically challenging. And so I'm like constantly surrounded by the smartest people I've known in my entire life, and everyone's just so driven. And so it's so great for me to like be part of that community and just like I learn honestly just as much from my peers as I do from my professors, and it's just a great environment that way. And I mean, there are just so many top performing athletes that go to this school, so I find like that watching games is just so much fun, and because it really is like the best combination of like academics and athletics, because I honestly think the NESCAC is like one of the best conferences in D3, and Middlebury's had a lot of success in that conference. So it's just so much fun to like get to know people that are like playing in these games and like being in classes with them, and just the community environment is just so great. And my
Yeah,
team as well is
yeah,
honestly the best. So
yeah. As we were talking, yeah, I went to school. I graduated 2 years ago. I'm almost 25, and yeah, I graduated 2 years ago. I went to St. Michael's and up in Burlington, and
yeah.
yeah, but I can never get into a school like Middlebury. I'm
Yeah,
not that smart, but I
I love
commend you for that. That's very good.
thank you.
That So yeah, can you tell me about your fall season, how it's been going? I know it's been very successful, your team. You got I believe two victories. Can you tell me about that? Especially you got a victory in your opening event. Can you tell me about that and just how the fall season was?
Yeah, it was so much fun for our team. It was our first win, I think, since 2019. So it was a big accomplishment for us, especially to do that at the first tournament. Our team, my team is just like we're all super driven. And we've had lots of goals to get wins and do well as a team. And we've just
Mhm.
always had such good team camaraderie. So being able to do that together was so special, especially at our first tournament, jumping off on the like starting the season that way was really great.
Yeah.
So
So in addition to college, you also have a lot of success, playing in tournaments outside of college. You won the 2022 Vermont Amateur. So, I mean, essentially you're the best woman golfer in the state of Vermont. But yeah, just what was it like to win the 2022 Vermont Amateur? Especially it was at Neshabe, so probably
yeah,
was special for you, winning it at a course that you grew up playing.
yeah, it was honestly just such a special win. It was funny because my dad and brother were in Chicago at another tournament, so they unfortunately didn't get to see. But it was just so nice because again, I just felt like so supported by like my community, just like being able to win there. And it's just a great like group of female golfers that are in Vermont, and like everyone's super tight knit, and a lot of them I know mostly through my mom. So it's just kind of fun. And I feel like a lot of them are like extra aunts to me. So but it honestly was like one of my greatest achievements, and it was just so fun. And like on the last hole of the tournament, I made it a little closer than it needed to be, but it was just so much, it was so cool. I thought I like, missed a shot left OB, so I had to hit another tee shot on 18, and then luckily I found my first ball, but it was like in a bush. So I had to like I decided to take a 5 iron out of my bag and like hit a shot lefty, like backwards out of the bushes into the fairway. And then ended up having a good wedge shot in, and then like a 7 footer that I made for par, which was just an insane way to end the tournament. But it was just so great, and so happy that I was able to do that.
Yeah. Can you tell me, you play in that tournament every year? Can you tell me about, some tournaments you get to play in outside of college?
Yeah, I feel like mostly it's just the state amateur.
Hmm.
Before I started at college, I did a lot of the Vermont Junior Tour events and New England PGA events, things like that. I didn't um totally play in a lot more outside of that because I didn't really get involved in golf until a little bit um until really high school. So I didn't play in a ton of like junior tours or events like that, especially since there aren't a whole lot um, up in, in New England or like near my home in Vermont. So I did what I could with what I had around me and just played as much as I could that way.
Yeah, so you're talking about your brother. A little bit familiar with your brother. You two are both some of the best players in Vermont. And I saw your brother playing at the Northern Junior here in Connecticut. I was out there volunteering for both
Oh,
days. So
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about your brother, his game, and what it's like to play with your brother?
Oh yeah, he's definitely way better than I am. But we've always been super competitive growing up and I got to have my fun when he was younger and I could outdrive him. But it's been nice for us to share that. We have just like a really special bond over our love for the game. And it's a great way for us to spend time with each other and just have some good sibling bonding on the golf course.
Yeah, and I hear you get every once in a while you get to caddy for him. So how are your caddying skills?
I think I it's less so my caddying skills, but more my brother's skills. He makes the job super easy for me because he's just so good. But I make sure to keep him keep him fed when I'm caddying for him, keep him happy, keep his mind in a good spot. I like joking around with him and laughing with him on the golf course. Um, but yeah, it's just so much fun to be able to do that with him and share that with him.
Yeah, so as we were talking before, I'm pretty familiar with the Rutland area. So, what courses did you grow up playing? Or
Yeah, really. I mean, I just kind of grew up like following the courses that my dad was at throughout Vermont.
Mhm.
So since I lived primarily in Brandon,
Yeah.
my whole life I've always called Neshabe really my home course. And then as my dad has like gone around, I've also grown up playing Crown Point Country Club down in Springfield, and then Montague Golf Club in Randolph, and now Ralph Meyer.
Okay,
So.
yeah, I'm finding out about a lot of courses. I've only ever played Rutland and Proctor a lot, so I got to get to
Mhm.
Vermont and play a lot more. Definitely want to go to Killington. I've heard that course is pretty good.
Yeah.
Green Mountain National. But anyway, so I'm interested to know, Ralph Meyer is your home course. Your dad's the head pro, and it's your college home course. So can you tell me a little bit about the course and also what it's like for your dad to be the head pro at the course?
Yeah. I love this golf course so much and it's super challenging. So it's just so fun to be here. And I honestly consider the Ralph to be my second home. I just really enjoyed being here. I've like been working here since I was 14, basically when my dad started working here. So everyone around here, like the members, my coworkers, they've kind of just seen me grow up here. And so it's been a really great community. The environment here is also so fun, and I think it's super unique being a college course, just because the Ralph is right next to the football stadium. So it's just a fun environment to see like all of the athletics teams like practicing and things like that, which I think makes it super unique. And also having the college students on the course, it's fun to see my friends out here playing golf and also enjoying the game. Um, but yeah, it's also funny because so many students here know my dad. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's like so special to me to be able to share this place with my dad. Like we're super close, so it's great to be able to, just come up here since it's part of campus really and just get to see my dad whenever I really want. And um yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, so you're from Vermont. I have to ask you, a little bit about your golfing career because, definitely in Vermont, the golf season's so short there. Golf's not one of the most popular sports. So, I'm interested to know, how did you get started playing golf? What age did you begin playing? And, what are some of your memories just growing up playing golf, as a junior?
Yeah, since my dad was a pro, he really like put a putter in my hand since I could walk. So I've just always been around golf and around golf courses. You know, my parents like they both love golf. My mom played a lot, and my dad obviously is a pro. So I just spent a lot of time just as a kid, even with my siblings, at the golf course. I didn't really start playing competitively until high school. I mean, when growing up, I feel like I was more focused on other sports. I also enjoyed doing soccer, basketball, and softball. And I played all those sports at the varsity level in high school. So, um, but yeah, I think, you know, doing all those other sports growing up and still like having golf on the side and having this whole golf community with my parents and the community that I was sharing with my whole family. It's been super special. So
So correct me if I'm wrong, you went to Otter Valley High School and you
yeah,
won two state championships. So
yeah.
can you tell me what it was like to win those two state championships in high school and then also, what it was like? You said, you played multiple sports, so what it was like
Mhm.
to play multiple sports. Do you think that helped your golf game or hindered it?
Yeah, I would say it definitely helped my golf game. I think um it always kept me busy, and I thought that it helped me balance like my schoolwork and um like it just balanced with my schoolwork. It got my mind off of that sometimes, and it was just a great escape from like school to be able to like have time with my teammates and play all these different sports. And um the first win that I had, it was honestly very unexpected. It was my sophomore year of high school. I remember like coming off of the 18th green, and the other girl that I was playing with like congratulated me, and I was like, for what? I don't know. But that win was super cool. That was actually at Ralph Meyer. So it
Okay.
was another home course win, which was really fun. And then my dad was here too, so it was nice to share that moment with him because that was really one of my first like big wins in golf. And then to get the repeat win the year after that was so fun. And obviously, like winning a state championship, you know, playing all these other sports, it was something that I've always wanted to do, especially with my other teams. But to be able to do it in golf, it was really special. And it kind of changed my perspective on golf a lot. And it just made me think that it was really something that I wanted to pursue later on in college.
Nice. Yeah. You've had success for a while, so that's very good. So now next week, November starts, so the winter is fast approaching. Being a fellow New Englander like me, especially being in Vermont, I'm interested to know, what do you do during the winter for golf? You play indoor golf? Do you do workouts, or do you just take time away from the game during the winter?
Yeah, growing up, it definitely was more time away from the game, and I would, you know, focus more on the basketball season.
Okay.
The winter seems to last way too long, but um, you know, I mean, especially now that as a college golfer, I do lifts with my team throughout the winter, so we're lifting 3 times a week. We also recently got a TrackMan simulator here at the school, which has been so great. So we just go to and use the simulator whenever we want. But yeah, also going to indoor golf facilities and practicing that way. Now I definitely try to practice golf a lot more through the winter, and it's honestly a lot of fun to be able to get on the simulator, and I think it helps the game a lot.
Yeah, I got to get into the simulators. I'll probably do that, once a month or twice a month during the winter. So
Mhm.
now that you're a junior, do you know what your plans or goals are after your time at Middlebury, or you're not sure, what your plans or goals are after, next year, your senior year?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely outside of college still want to stay involved in golf. I think it's given me so much in my life, so I just want to continue with that somehow. And I'm honest, like I'm not totally sure what I want to be doing like after Middlebury. I think like I guess career prospects. I have like an internship that I'm going to be doing this summer in wealth management, so at like a bulge bracket firm. So we'll see how that goes this summer and see if I end up doing that after college. But like really I guess a goal like post Middlebury would just be to have like I just want to have an impact on the program here at Middlebury and just be able to like feel good about my career that I've had at Middlebury and just be able
Nice.
to look back fondly on the experience. So
Well, you're already making me jealous. You said you had an internship. I tried for months and months and months and all the years for like all throughout my college. my college time, and I could not get a internship during college. So that makes me jealous. Yeah, I tried to get an internship during college and I couldn't, so I was just working, at a retail store, all things like that.
Hmm.
That's awesome that you're getting an internship. So just a few more questions, just a little get to know you before we end this interview.
Hmm.
So what's your favorite thing about golf? And what drew you to playing golf?
Yeah, I like for me being I'm kind of a perfectionist, so just being able to like constantly be chasing like getting better in the sport, you can always get better and it's a sport that you just can't ever perfect. So it's honestly just so much fun to be like just to like always be practicing and like working hard to get better. Um and I enjoy that a lot.
What's your favorite thing about college golf?
College golf, I love the team environment so much. In high school, it was interesting for me being on a golf team because I was the only girl for most of the time. So I was just kind of like competing with the boys and um, but like being on a team with girls, I love my team so much. They're the best people ever and they're all amazing. So it's just so great to spend so much time with them.
Yeah, it's interesting to know. I was talking to another player. I think she plays for Siena, and she's from Massachusetts, and she was talking about her experience, playing just on with the boys on a boys high school team, and then how it's different, playing on the women's team in college. So it's a
Yeah.
it's very interesting to me how there's not many, high school girls golf teams, or not as many as there should be.
Yeah, mostly the other girl that that I would play with was my sister. I got her to play on the team. So it was fun to do that in high school. Yeah.
I have two more questions. Who are some of your favorite golfers out there in the professionals?
I have like a pretty long list. I've been watching a lot of golf on the PJ Tour, just like with my dad, every weekend. But I have to say, like my favorite for sure has got to be Keegan Bradley, hometown hero, coming from Vermont. So, um, yeah, he's just great. Other favorites, if I just go off like so my list, like Roy McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Victor Hovland, Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, like all those guys. They're always so much fun to watch. Colin Morikawa too. I think Harry Higgs, Joel Damon, they're funny, so I love watching them. And then also I went to a tournament with my brother when we were younger. I think I was in like middle school, at the Deutsche Bank at TPC Boston, and I got to meet a lot of the pros like through that. Since my dad was like walking inside of the ropes with one of the pros. And so I met like Adam Scott and Jim Furyk, and they were super nice when I met them in person with my brother. So that was
Nice.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to a couple. They had a couple of LPGA tournaments around here, so I went to two, and then Epson Tour tournament at my home course here in Connecticut.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
I worked at. So yeah, I
Yeah. On
got
the
to meet.
LPGA tour, I love Nelly Korda. Her
Yeah,
swing is just butter.
yeah.
So
hmm So final question is, what is it like to be one of the top golfers in the state of Vermont? I'm sure that's pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's just great for me to just like I guess being like one of the best, like you have to be a good leader. And so in that sense, I just want to be able to like inspire younger golfers and just to help grow the game as much as I can in Vermont. And I think I've been able to do that a lot so far. It's been great for me to see just like a huge increase in just the amount of young female golfers in this state and just golfers in general. So I think that's
Mhm.
something that's really great.